Hello, you're welcome to my Simple Maths YouTube channel. Please, if you're yet to subscribe to our YouTube channel, kindly do so, and don't forget to click on the notification button. That way you'll be notified each time we have a new video. Not only that, kindly like and share our videos too, so that other people can see what we do. Alright, today we're looking at common entrance practice questions, and this is series 9. That means we have series 1 to 8 on our YouTube channel. If you have not seen that, you can always check that up. Alright, let's go straight to business. Question 1 says, express 0.05 as a fraction in its lowest term. Don't be confused by this 0.05. It's still the same thing as saying 0.05. Alright, so I'm changing 0.05 to fraction in its lowest term. Okay, so to change this to fraction, it just simply means I'll move this 1, 2, because I'm moving 2 times. That's going to give me 5 divided by 100. Okay, but because the question says to its lowest term, that means I can't leave this like this. I'll keep dividing until I can't divide further. So 5 can go here, 1, that's why I have this 1 there, and 5 can go in 100 20 times. So 1 over 20 is the lowest fraction for 0.05. Is that taken? Very good. Question 2 says 1 over 2 divided by 1 over 3. 1 over 2 divided by 1 over 3. Now I want to change this division to multiplication, so my denominator becomes the numerator and my numerator becomes the denominator, and that gives me 1 over 2 times 3 over 1. 1 times 3 is 3. 2 times 1 is 2, so this is 3 over 2. So depending on how you want your answer to be, if your answer is going to be in fraction, you can leave it like this. If your answer is going to be in decimal, then I can change it to this. 2 in 3 is 1.5. Is that taken? So depending on how your option is, if your option is in fraction, this will be the answer, 3 over 2. But if it's in decimal, 1.5. Or it can also be one whole number, 1 over 2, whichever way. Is that taken? Good. Alright, question 3 says 726 divided by 6. I'm using my long division method. I remember I'm always mentioning long division method, so for the benefit of those that are having issues with long division method, I'm going to show us the long division method with this question. Alright, 726, I'm going to say 6 and 7. That means 7 divided by 6. I have 1, isn't it? 6 times 1 is 6, and then I'll say 7 minus 6, that gives me 1. Then I'll bring this 2 down. I have 12 now. 6 in 12 is 2. 6 times 2 is 12. 12 minus 12 is 0. Then I bring this 6 down. 6 in 6 is 1. 6 times 1 is 6. Then 6 minus 6 is 0. So that is all. Then my answer is 121. That means 726 divided by 6 is 121. Is that clear? Good. Question 4 says 1 over 2 plus 1 over 4 plus 1 over 6. Now these are all fractions and they are not the same denominator, so that means I'm going to use my LCM. So I'm going to find the LCM of the 3 denominators here. I have 2, 4 and 6. The LCM of 2, 4 and 6 is 12. Why? Because 12 is the number that can divide the 3 numbers without remainder. Alright, so I'm going to write up my denominator here now, my LCM 12, and then I'll say 2 in 12, or 12 divided by 2, 6, isn't it? 6 times 1, 6, and then 4, this 4 now, 4 in 12, 3. That 3 times 1, 3, and then 6 in 12, 2. 2 times 1, 2. Now these numbers are remaining like this because my numerators are 1. If the numerators is not 1, I'll have to multiply by whatever the numerator is. Alright, now I'm going to add up all these numbers that are the numerator. So 6 plus 3 is 9, 9 plus 2 is 11, and that's 11 over 12. Is that taken? Alright, so if you have issues with LCM, you can always check up LCM. We've done a series on LCM. It's on our YouTube channel. You can check it for more explanation on how to find LCM. Alright, let's move to the next question. Question 5, 2 plus 22 plus 202. Okay, to make it easy for us to arrange, I'm going to write out the place value, 100, tens and units. 2 is unit, so it's going to be here. 22, this 2 will be under the tens, this 2 will be under the unit. Then 202, this 2 is the 100, this 0 is the tens, and this 2 is the unit. Alright, then let me add up the units. I have 2 plus 2 plus 2, that's 6. This is the 6 here. 2 plus 0, I have 2, and then I'm left with just 2 here, and then I write my 2. 226. Is that clear? Good. Question 6 says write in words 70077. Okay, to make it easy for me to write in words, I want to write out the place value. So I have 70077. Let me start from the back. The 7 here is the unit, this 7 is the tens, this 0 is the 100, this 0 is the 1000, and this 7 is the 10,000. So because I have 10,000, this is 70,000, isn't it? So to be 70,000, I don't have any number in my 100, so there will be no 100, and then I have 77. So 70,000 and 77, that is that number in words. Is that clear? Very good. Question 7 says 1.1 times 1.1. Alright, to make it easy for me to multiply in decimal, what I do is to change it to whole number. I'm multiplying this by 10, it will give me 11. Multiply this by 10, give me 11. Don't forget, we are still going to use that 10. The 210 I used to multiply, I'm still going to use it. So 11 times 11, that's easy on my times table. 11 times 11 is 121. If you don't know your times table, I would advise you to try to learn it. It's very important. You would always need it each time you're solving mathematics question. So 11 times 11 is 121. But remember, I have to multiply this by 10, multiply this by 10. That is 100. So I'm going to divide this number by that 100. So I'll just move my decimal point 2 places to the left. 1, 2. And that gives me 1.21. Alright, so like I said, I always do this to avoid confusion. But if you know you can actually multiply your decimal numbers without mistake, it's fine, you will still get the same answer. But if you think it's confusing, you can change it to a whole number, multiply, and then return it back to decimal. Is that clear? Good. Question 8 says if A is 3 and B is 2, find the value of 3 brackets A minus B. All I need to do is to put in the value of A and B into this equation. So instead of A here, I'm going to write 3, and instead of B, I'm going to write 2. Is that taken? Alright, so here I will have to deal with what is in the bracket first. 3 minus 2 is 1, and then I say 3 times 1 is equals to 3. Is that taken? So the value of 3 into bracket A minus B is 3. Is that clear? Correct. Question 9. Amaka scored 60% in a test that had 50 questions. How many questions did she get correct? Okay, so we want to look at the number of correct questions. Remember, they says 60% of a question that has in a test that has 50 questions. So 60% means 60 over 100 times the number of questions, 50. Did you see that? So I can say 0 cancels 0, this 0 cancels 0, so I'm left with 6 and 5. 6 times 5 is 30. So that means she got 30 questions correct. Is that clear? Good. Question 10 says what is the place value of 7 in 27904? So let me write out the place value of all the numbers, and then that way we can look at the place value of 7. So I'm starting from my unit. Okay, my 4 is unit, the tens is 0, 100 is 9, 1000 is 7, 10,000 is 2. So what's the place value of 7? As you can see, is 1000. So the place value of 7 is thousands. 7,000. Is that clear? Good. Question 11 says multiply the HCF and LCM of 12 and 18. So I'm going to look for the HCF, I'm going to look for the LCM, and then I multiply them together. HCF, remember HCF is common factor, so I'm using a number that can divide both number without remainder. Alright, so HCF now highest common factor, HCF. Okay, so I'm going to say 2 in 12, 6. 2 in 18, 9. Okay, what's the next number that can divide both number? 3. Alright, so 3 in 6 is 2, 3 in 9 is 3. Okay, so no number can divide both of them, so I'm just going to leave it like that. That means my HCF is 2 times 3, which is 6. Now coming to LCM, lowest common multiple. Okay, I'm going to be dividing with the lowest number until I get to 1 1, and I can't go further again. But this time around, it doesn't matter if the number can divide both numbers, as far as it can divide one of the numbers. So I'm going to start with 2. 2 in 12 is 6. 2 in 18 is 9. Okay, I can still use 2. 2 divided, or 6 divided by 2, or 2 in 6, whichever one you think is easy for you to understand. Alright, 2 in 6 is 3. Okay, 2 in 9 cannot give me a whole number. It can't give me a number without remainder, so I'm going to just write down my 9 the way it is. Alright, then I'll move to the next number, 3. Since I can't divide with 2 again, now I'm going to move to 3. 3 in 3, 1. 3 in 9, 3. Okay, then I'll still use 3 again. 3 in 1, I'll still write my 1. 3 in 3, 1. So I can stop my division and then write out the numbers I have. I have 2 times 2 times 3 times 3. 2 times 2 is what? 4. 4 times 3 is 12. 12 times 3 is 36. So now HCF times LCM will be what? 6 times 36, and that is 216. You can pause the video, quickly do your multiplication, and confirm if you get the same answer with mine. So 6 times 36 is 216. Do we understand this? Very good. Question 12. The perimeter of a room is 14 meter. If the length is 3.6 meter, what is the width? Okay, so for perimeter, you say 2 into brackets length plus width. Width is the same thing as breadth, so don't be confused. If you see it as breadth, if you see it as width, it's still saying the same thing. So this is the formula: 2 into brackets length plus width. Okay, in this question I have the perimeter 14. I'm going to write that down. 2 brackets, I have the length 3.6, but I don't know the width, so I'm going to still represent my width with W, and then I close the brackets. 14 into is equals to, now I'm going to say 2 times 3.6, that is 7.2, plus 2 times W, 2W. Is that taken? Alright, I'm going to move this 7.2 to this side. Remember, it's plus 7.2, but when it crosses the equality sign, it becomes minus 7.2. So 14 minus 7.2 is equals to 2W. Is that taken? 14 minus 7.2 is 6.8. So 6.8 is equals to 2W. Now to get W, I'm going to divide both sides by 2. Is that taken? 2W divided by 2, that would give me W. And then 6.8 divided by 2, that would give me 3.4. So that means my width is 3.4 meter. Is that taken? So the width is 3.4 meter. Alright. The next question, 13. Divide the sum of 86420 by the average. So that means I'm going to look for the sum of these numbers and also the average. Sum means addition of all the numbers. 8 plus 6 plus 4 plus 2 plus 0. 8 plus 6 is 14. 14 plus 4 is 18. 18 plus 2 is 20. 20 plus 0 is still 20. And then my average means I'm going to add the sum. I'm going to get the sum of all the numbers and divide by the numbers, how many numbers I have. So 8 plus 6 plus 4 plus 2 plus 0. Since I've even gotten the sum here, so I know the sum is 20 divided by 5, and then 20 divided by 5 is 4. Now back to the question, you have to find what? Sum divided by average. My sum is 20 and my average is 4, so 20 divided by 4 is 5. Is that taken? Alright, so that's the final answer. Question 14. In what ratio will 28 oranges be divided between Amaka and Ebele, such that Amaka gets 8 while Ebele gets 20? Alright, in this question we are just to find the ratio Okay, so since Amaka is coming before Ebele, I'm going to say Amaka Ebele. Amaka has 8, Ebele has 20. Okay, but we can still divide this further, isn't it? 4 can go in both numbers. So I'm going to say 8 divided by 4, 2. 20 divided by 4, 5. So 2:5 is the ratio of sharing 28 oranges between Amaka and Ebele. Is that taken? Correct. Question 15 says 2 squared plus the square root of 4. 2 squared simply means 2 times 2, that is 4. And then root 4, square root of 4 means what number will I multiply by itself to give me 4. So the square root of 4 is 2. 4 plus 2 is 6. Okay, we have a video on square and square root. You can always check that up for more information on square and square root. Alright, let's move to the next question. Question 16 says find the value of the angle marked y. Okay, this is your diagram. You have y, you have 120, and both of them are on a straight line. Now don't forget that the sum of angles on a straight line is 180 degree. What that simply means is that y plus 120 degree is equals to 180 degree. So my y will be what? This is 120 degree, is moving to this side, it becomes minus 120. So 180 degree minus 120 degree, and 180 minus 120 is 60. So y is 60 degree. Is that clear? Correct. Question 17. How many bags of salt at 15 naira each can be bought for 240 naira? Okay, what that simply means is I'll just say 240 divided by 15. Is that clear? To know the number of salt I can buy. Alright, so 240 divided by 15. Okay, I want to reduce it to the lowest term. I can divide by 5. 5 in 240 will give me 48. 5 in 15 will give me 3. And then 48 divided by 3 is 16. That means I can buy 16 bags of salt with 240 naira. Is that taken? Correct. Question 18. Convert 2,480 meter to kilometer. To convert meter to kilometer, you divide by 1,000. Take note of that. Alright, I'm dividing 2,480 by 1,000. 1,000, that simply means I'm moving my decimal point 3 places to the left. 1, 2, 3. And that gives me 2.48 kilometer. Is that clear? Correct. Alright, I have question 19. A trader left Onitsha at 11:05 a.m. and arrived Enugu at 1:15 p.m. How long did the journey take? Alright, so if I'm saying from 11:05 a.m. to 1:05 p.m., that is 2 hours. And then from 1:05 p.m. to 1:15 p.m. is 10 minutes. So I'll just say the total time taken is 2 hours plus 10 minutes, and that is 2 hours 10 minutes. Or if you want to just do a sketch, you can do a sketch of a clock on your jotter and then try to use it to calculate how long the journey would take. Still arrive at the same answer. Is that taken? Correct. Question 20 says convert 70 number 1/7 to improper fraction. Alright, when I'm converting to improper fraction, what am I going to do? 7 times 7 plus 1 divided by the denominator. So 7 times 7 is 49. 49 plus 1 is 50. So I have 50 divided by 7. Is that taken? Good. Question 21. A lump of sugar has the shape of a cube. You know those, your cube of sugar, they actually call it a lump of sugar. So it has the shape of a cube. Question 22. If y minus 12 is equals to 12, what is y? Y minus 12 is 12. So I'm going to move my minus 12 to this side. It becomes plus 12 because it's crossing the equality sign. So y is equals to 12 plus 12, and 12 plus 12 is 24. So y is equals to 24. Is that clear? Alright. Question 23. The diagram below is divided in 2 equal parts. It's divided into equal parts. What fraction of it is shaded? Alright, let's count. How many equal parts do we actually have? Let's start from here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this circle is divided into 8 equal parts. Then let's look at the shaded parts. We have 1, 2, 3. So to know the fraction is going to be what? The number of the shaded parts divided by the number of all the parts. So 3/8 is the fraction that is shaded. Is that taken? Correct. Question 24. Add the prime numbers between 1 and 10. So let's start by identifying the prime numbers that are between 1 and 10. And don't forget, prime numbers are numbers that are divisible by 1 and itself, that can divide 1, that can be divided by 1 and itself. So these are the prime numbers between 1 and 10. Remember, 1 is not a prime number. So 2, 3, 5, and 7 are the prime numbers between 1 and 10. So let's add it together. Let's get the sum. 2 plus 3 is 5. 5 plus 5 is 10. 10 plus 7 is 17. So that is the sum of the prime numbers between 1 and 10. Is that clear? Correct. Question 25 says write 207 in Roman figure. Okay, remember in Roman figure 100 is C. So 200 is CC. And then 7. 7 is what? 5 plus 2. 5 is V. And then 2 is II. So 7 is VII. And then 207 is CCVII. Is that clear? Good. Alright, with this we've come to the end of the class. Please don't forget, if you have not subscribed to our YouTube channel, kindly do so and click on the notification button so that you can be notified each time we have a new video. Not only that, remember to like and share our video so that other people can see what we do. I hope you enjoyed yourself. Thanks and have a wonderful day. Bye.